The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
This is the Domino's Post-Game Report. I'm Adam Cavalier alongside Carson-Newman head men's basketball coach Chuck Benson. Chuck, a frustrating 30-point loss to Lincoln Memorial. It seemed like the Rail Splitters were able to get you out of sorts inside. Only 14 points in the paint. What did they do to control the inside game?
Well, they did what obviously they should have done. They made it really tough from a one-on-one standpoint just to get a catch. Then when we did get a catch, they had multiple bodies around our post players. They completely conceded the perimeter, our perimeter play. As I told you in the post game or in the pregame, I thought this game was going to go back to our perimeters. Mm-hmm. And could they make up the difference in point production out of the post? Because I really and truly thought Lincoln Memorial would do what they did, and that was to take away the inside. So, credit goes to them for having a great game plan. The one thing about today that was really extra disappointing to me was simply that, I thought they were so much more physical and so much more relentless and so much more just dominant, physically speaking. So,
Laquan Choice, 34 points, most points that an individual has scored on you since Patrick Monroe went for 31 for Mars Hill back in November. It seemed like they were using the drive and the dish to get him free. Why did that work?
Transition. First of all, Lorenzo Ross is a senior. He is the fastest, quickest, most aggressive driving point guard in this conference. He got deep penetration. He got into the paint. And then he had great inside-out passing, and guys connected. And that's really the first half. That's what gave them that lead, was the fact that he got in the paint and they played off the inside-out. And we just could not – we had no answer. I mean, and it was a double-edged sword. We had no answer as far as getting the ball contained, and then we had no answer in terms of just scoring points, to answer points, counter points. Just didn't have it.
Jared Johnson with 19 points. Really the best offensive bright spot for you. 4 for 8 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3. He tried to keep you close in the first half, but Choice barraging really negated that.
Well, this is the second game Jared's been back after having just a very spotty. He's been dealing with injuries all season long, and so he put it out there as best he had, and he's still at 60-70%. Doesn't move laterally, can't push up, doesn't get that lateral movement. So, I thought he did a good job despite that. But the truth of the matter is, Lincoln Memorial is one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah.
And so, in order to beat them, there's not one guy that's going to carry you enough. Mm-hmm. You've got to have a team approach and a team effort and a team execution if you're going to have a chance. And first of all, credit goes to them because they had an outstanding team performance. Laquan Choice puts up 34, but that wasn't the entire story by any means. There were 3 of the guys that are double-figure scores. They had a greater team performance than we had, period, on both sides of the ball.
In the grand scheme of things, you're still in the hunt for a home game in the first round of the playoffs. A lot to sort out, but as it stands right now, you'll drop into a tie for, well, who knows what position in the standings will be, but you'll be in a tie with the loser of the Newberry-Wingate game and the winner of the Catawba-Queens game. Mm-hmm. What mindset does this team need to have from here on out, A, to bounce back from such a large defeat, and B, with the mindset of, hey, you've still got a lot to play for?
Yeah, well, first of all, 18, 19, 20-year-old kids have a hard time remembering what's happening 10 minutes from now. So to think this is going to somehow another stew and fester is absurd. It won't. Yeah. The only people that don't sleep are coaches. Players could care less after the game's over. So this is not an issue. Do we have some kind of tragic hangover after getting beat by the number 5 team, 3 team over there in the country? We'll come at it tomorrow, and we'll focus on our last regular season game. That's Newberry, and obviously prior to today's game, we were at least tied with them for second. We won down there earlier this year. We know what their style will be. They know what our style will be. We'll watch tape in preparation and establish our plan and see if we can execute the plan come Saturday. I mean, this one will be flushed out of our kids' memory banks before they leave this building today, and by the time we get here tomorrow, it'll be 100% focused on Newberry.
Chuck, pleasure as always. We'll talk to you Saturday.
Thanks, Kev.
That's Carson-Newman head men's basketball coach Chuck Benson. Domino's postgame report continues.